Welcome to my online English class conducted by Shatkar Town Girls High School. This is Hiralal Sarkar, an assistant teacher of Shatkar Town Girls High School. My dear students, I hope you are keeping well. I am also fine. Now we are facing a critical pandemic disease is called COVID-19. COVID-19 coronavirus has changed our education systems, has changed our daily activities, has changed our personal activities, and also changed our completely education systems, not only in our country but also all the world. Our government already has taken the proper steps to continue the online class every institutions. Following these institutions, our headmistress as well as our concerned authorities has inspired our teacher to teach the students in the classroom on the virtual class. Especially I would like to thank the concerned authorities. My dear students, you have to stay in your home and to continue your studies and following the instructions such as the online classrooms. The last class I taught in front of you the completing sentence and said that 2 or 3 days I taught to you the completing sentence. This is the 4th day, and now I am going to take the completing sentence, the another rules. My dear students, the previous day I talked to you. If you know and if you complete the completing sentence, you will know the clause and also discuss what's the clause and how many kinds are there and how to identify and how to understand the principal clause, the definition of principal clause and the subordinate clause and the coordinate clause. So I think that all of you have understood the completing sentences and other rules and the clause. Now I am going to discuss the rest of the rules of completing sentence. My dear students, listen to me what I say and what I write down on the whiteboard with your pen and notepad. Okay, let's go, my dear students, the another rules. First, I would like to discuss since. Since he was meritorious, he could cut a good figure in the exams. This is the sentence, he could cut a good figure in the exam. This is a sentence from the very beginning of the sentence, the subordinate clause, and I taught to you how to understand the subordinate clause. Subordinate clause, from the very beginning of the sentences, the subordinating conjunction. So this is called the subordinate clause, and subordinate clause past tense. So the next clause will be the past tense. So I have to complete the incomplete sentence he could cut a good figure in the exams. Here, this is the sense, the Bangla meaning. যেহেতু যখন বাক্যের শুরুতেই সেন্স ব্যবহৃত হবে তখন যেহেতু অর্থে প্রকাশ করবে। আমাদের সেন্সের মানে ইউজেজ অফ টু কাইন্ডস অফ সেন্স, from the very beginning of the sentence sense and the middle position of the sense. When we have to use the middle position of the sense, the Bangla meaning, কোনো সময় থেকে যখন আমরা মাঝখানে সেন্স ব্যবহৃত হয় আমরা ব্যবহার করি তখন আমরা কোনো সময় থেকে আমরা ব্যবহার করি, এবং যখন প্রথমে ব্যবহৃত হয় তখন যেহেতু অর্থ প্রকাশ করে। এবার আমি পরবর্তী একটা উদাহরণ আমি তোমাদের সামনে দাঁড় করছি। One example is done for you, my dear students. কোনো সময় থেকে, ওকে। One example is done for you, my dear students. Write down on your copy and listen what I say and what I write down on the black whiteboard. It is many years since. It is many years since. If the sentence contains since and the before present tense or present perfect tense, when you have to complete the completing sentence, the next clause will be the past tense. My dear students, you need to put into your memory or nice to know that if the sentence contains since and before present or perfect tense, the next clause will be the past tense. The next clause or next the completing parts will be the past tense. Okay, my dear students. So since in this position since and the before present indefinite tense, present indefinite tense. So when you have to complete the completing sentence, the next part or the next clause will be past tense. So it is many years since I met you last. Okay, okay, my dear students, I met you last. What's the difference between the usage of since from the very beginning of the sentences and the middle position of the sentences? I discuss in front of you, and I think that all of you have understood the usage of since. Okay, another example is done for you, my dear students. It was many years since. This is the sentence contains since and the position of middle. Okay, and the before part, it was many years indicates the past tense. So the next clause or next the completing sentence parts will be the past perfect tense, past perfect tense. And I think that, my dear students, You know the structure of past perfect tense. Past perfect tense structure: subject plus head plus PB3. PB3 means principal verb 3 were past participle plus object plus extension. Okay. Again said that, my dear students, the structure of past perfect tense: subject plus head plus PB3 plus object plus extension. Okay. Any problem? Okay, very good. Thank you. I had met you last. Okay. Is it clear to you? Okay, very good. Thank you, my dear students. So, I discussed in front to you the uses of since. Any problem? Tell me. If any problem, you will tell me. And the previous day I gave you my phone number or contact number. Any problem, tell me. I will share with you. Okay. So I think that we have finished the usage of since successfully. Okay, my dear students, I have to clean the whiteboard because I would like to want another rules of completing sentence. So that this is a very important completing sentence rule. Do you know, my dear students, the Bangla meaning of the so that? Negative sentence we have to use extensive for, we have to use the so that. Okay. I want to write down on the whiteboard the structure of so that. Okay. Firstly, you have to write down the example. He is so weak that he can't walk. So that. The structure subject plus verb plus so plus adjective oblique adverb. Okay. Subject, verb plus so plus adjective oblique adverb plus that. The next, the completing parts or the next clause will be plus subject plus can't oblique couldn't, can't oblique couldn't oblique mayn't oblique mightn't plus meaningful verb plus object plus extension. My dear students, this is the very important, the completing sentence rules so that. The Bangla meaning এতই যে structure subject plus verb plus so plus adjective oblique adverb plus that plus subject plus can't oblique couldn't. If the first clause will be the present, express the present tense, the next clause will be the can't, cannot, the short contraction of can't. And if the clause from the very beginning of the sentence is the past tense, the next clause or when you have to change the completing sentence will be the couldn't. Okay, couldn't. So my dear students, I think that all of you have understood the write down on the whiteboard so that the completing sentence rules. Okay, write down, my dear students. You have to write down on your notepad. Okay, and I will discuss the another completing sentence rule. Now express the same meanings to to. This is used the simple sentence and the same meanings, and this is used the complex sentence. Okay, and one example is the same sentences I have to use or I have to give the example of 2. Okay, he is too weak to walk. Okay, he is too weak to walk. So that and 2 the same meanings, and we have to use this is the completing sentence rules. Use the simple sentence, and this is the use the complex sentence. So write down, my dear students, structure. Subject plus verb plus to plus adjective oblique adverb plus to plus meaningful verb. Okay, my dear students, again said that the rule number 3, so dot dot that, and the another rules 2 dot dot 2. So, my dear students, I have taught to you in this class the completing sentences, rest of the completing sentences rules, and I think that we have successfully finished in these classrooms. If you stay in your home in this situation and to practice in English and the completing sentences, see more again the next class. God bless you. Thank you.